Warning: your feelings might get hurt. Viewers' discretion is advised. The following information may cause bleeding to brittle ears. If you are a fanboy and you ride on your emotions, please exit the live stream. You have been fairly warned.
From the Raw Boxing TV studios, your host, Ranger. Information may cause headaches to hates or bias casual fans.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
The host that gives you facts with very little feelings. From the city of the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, the man who floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee.
I'm going to show you how great I am.
Louisville, Kentucky. It's showtime.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome once again to Raw Boxing TV. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm not sure if I'm coming out clear. Welcome to Raw Boxing TV once again. Let me change these headphones real quick. Just a minute. One, two, three. There you go. There you go. There you go. Now we're sounding better. Welcome to Raw Boxing TV. Who do we have here? James Valdez. What's going on, my brother? Thank you for being here. Mr. Chad Pettis in the building as always. What's up, my brother? What's up? My homie G Funky. Hashtag the Black Sheep. What is going on, my brother? What is going on? Welcome to the building. Everybody subscribe to not Raw. Yes, subscribe to Raw Boxing TV. Activate the notification bell. Hit the thumbs up on this live stream. But everybody definitely go and subscribe to my bro, Mr. G Funky. Puerto Rican Rome in the building. Another supporter of the Raw Boxing TV Nation. And I definitely always appreciate every single one of you guys that supports my content every time I come live or every time I upload, which isn't often. Y'all already know how your boy Ranger is. I'm here for a few days and then I'm gone for a few weeks. You know, I detox immediately. From this YouTube stuff. But I've been wanting to come out live even since yesterday, but I was a little tired yesterday. To talk about this subject, man. You know, at first, for many years now, but especially in the last year and a half to two, for many years, we've been hearing the usual, right? We've been hearing the usual from a lot of content creators out there with a lot of following. A lot of content creators that know that they have a faithful following, but instead of choosing to be honest, to be partial with the very audience that makes them who they are, they have chosen to ride and create their content, counting that their content will be successful solely on the ignorance of the people that follow them. And I have to be real with you. It has been a success on their behalf. They have realized, they have figured out that it's not about truth. They have figured out that it's not about boxing. They have figured out that it's not about people seeking evidence, that it's not about anything. They have figured out that no matter what they put out, 9 out of 10 people, maybe 8, will just ride or die with the very thing they're saying. And they're going to spread it like a bad seed through the fields of the YTBC. Right? Now, mind you, a lot of these things, it's just made up narratives just to get the thumbs up. Just to get the cash apps, the super chats. Just to get all of that. But somehow, it has worked. Why do I say that? They got people writing for other people. They got other channels writing for them. in the way that it's unheard of. For about a year and a half, we've been hearing, Canelo is a duck. Canelo doesn't fight black fighters, even though I will go through the list of black fighters this man has fought. Canelo's been fighting low-level oppositions. Canelo's been doing this and doing that. Listen, guys, I've told you in a few lives that sometimes we don't have to worry too much about debunking a lie because it just debunks itself. And I think, in my opinion, that this is the beginning of this lie being debunked. And now, this is the reason why, if you listen to them, I don't even have to mention their name. If you listen to them, this is the reason that now the narrative isn't that Canelo is ducking black fighters. The narrative isn't that Canelo isn't fighting the Charlo. The narrative isn't that Canelo left the 168 division and it's never coming back because he is afraid of fighting Bubu Andrade or any other Charlo. The new narrative is that Charlo is a cherry pick because he had a bad performance on his last fight. That is the new narrative. Now that they smell that this man Canelo Alvarez is like, you know what? If I don't get that Maccabee or Macumbu, whatever his name is, if I don't get him, I'm going to go after this Charlo brother. I'm going to give him the payday. If I don't get this Maccabee guy, I'm going after Charlo or Makaku. What is his name? What is the name? Y'all should know the name. Yeah, but you know who I'm talking about. If I don't get this guy at a cruiserweight, then I'm gonna get this Charlo. And now that they smell that, rescue mission. Let's go ahead and rescue our narrative. And how do we rescue our narrative? How do we talk about Canelo Alvarez, even though that now he is fighting the very people that we say he constantly avoids, which is black fighter, and I will go into that. How do we rescue our narrative now that Canelo is actually doing the very thing we've been saying for about a year and a half or longer? The very thing we said he wasn't gonna do. Now it's kind of smelling like he's gonna do it. How do we rescue that? Oh, how can we talk about Canelo in a way that even though he's doing the very thing we said he was never gonna do, how can we talk in a way that we still give him no credit? Ladies and gentlemen, the art of lies, it's something that, especially in today's generation, works extremely well. You have heard the old saying that says you can repeat a lie long enough and you wind up believing it. I kind of disagree nowadays. You don't have to repeat it that much. You just got to say it once or twice. And out of 1,000 people that follow you, guess what? Say that only 50 believed you without doing any evidence search for themselves, without doing the due diligence to see whether what you're saying is correct or not. Out of the thousands that listened to you, 50 believed you. And you might say, well, Ranger, that is no success. The problem is that those 50 are like a bird with a full stomach flying across different fields. What do I mean? When a bird's got a full stomach and he's flying across other fields, he starts pooping. Well, when he poops, he spreads the seeds. And the seeds drop to the ground. Some will fall on good ground, others fall on bad ground. The ones that fall on bad ground will not produce or yield any reproduction, but the ones that do fall on fertile soils will produce the little tree, and that little tree will be born. And guess what that tree does? It produces more lies. So although thousands are listening, and 50 are believing, those 50 are making sure that the lies are spread and are believed at the same rate throughout the entire field of the YTBC. Throughout the entire field of the YTBC. And so now that they've been seen, I'm not ignoring the comments. I'll get to the comments after I'm done talking. And now that they're seeing, they're smelling, they seen the shark coming. They smell the blood. They're seeing their narrative falling little by little. They come to the rescue. And what is the rescue? How do they rescue their narrative? Oh yeah, well, yeah, he's fighting them, but he's actually cherry picking them. He's cherry picking Charlo because Charlo had a bad performance versus Montiel.
Stop it. Get some help.
The reason this makes absolutely no sense is because the very same people that are making that argument, the very same people that are saying, oh, this is a cherry pick. And the reason it's a cherry pick is because Mr. Charlo is coming from a bad performance. Those are the same people that had Canelo Alvarez down versus Caleb Plant until the knockout. And so my question is, if Caleb Plant was dominating the fight, in your opinion, up until the moment of the knockdown or the knockout, we'll just say Canelo got lucky that night. He landed what he landed on Plant, and boom, boom, boom. And the knockout came. If Canelo Alvarez was having a bad night that night in your own scorecard, and Charlo, according to the judges' scorecard, was dominating the fight, wouldn't you say that automatically taking the very thing you're using to discredit Canelo, possibly fighting Charlo, wouldn't you think that automatically your narrative falls? I mean, think about it for a second. Charlo is a cherry pick because, according to you, he had a bad performance versus Montiel, even though the judges said in the scorecards that he dominated. But Canelo, coming from Caleb Plant, in your scorecard, you had him losing every single round except for 3 until the knockout. But somehow, Charlo is a cherry pick. I'll let you sink on that for a minute. Let that sink in for a minute. Charlo is the cherry pick. It absolutely makes no sense. At some point, we're gonna have to stop acting like the hurt girl that just been that her man just broke up with her, and she really loves this man, but she can't have him no more. She can't have him anymore. And so now everything that's good about him, she's gonna find a way to present it to other girls in a way that they look at him as not being good. We're going to have to stop acting like the cheerleaders that's been after hating on this football team guy. They hate him so much because he is everything they would like their man to be, but their man is not that. And they see this man being successful in the field, but every move he makes, it's a dagger to them, because they're seeing this man, and then they look at their man like, inside of them, they're like, oh, I wish you were just like him. And then they look at this man, and this man is such an aura of a alpha male. And so it doesn't matter that guy is great in the field. They are still going to find a way to not only talk trash, but discredit that football player just because they wish that their man was what that football player is. But since their man isn't, then they're going to discredit that man for the rest of their life. And it doesn't matter what he does out there on the field. You can get all the tackles, all the pass, all the intersections, all of the whatever, touchdowns. It's never going to be good enough because my man is not like him. And I can't acknowledge. I have to lie to myself first. Inside of my head, I have to create a different person than what my eyes are seeing. Inside of my head, I have to create a scenario. Inside of my head, I have to practice a certain tone of voice, a certain personality when talking about this man, so that when I talk to my buddies about that football player, at least one of them believes what I'm saying about that guy, even though the others are like, I watch football and this dude's a killer out there. But it doesn't matter because one believed. So now that one goes and does his due diligence to spread the seed. That's what we're dealing with. This young cat ain't never going to get the credit. I mean, let's do a recap. And y'all know that I was once considered, even though I never was, I was once considered one of the biggest Canelo haters simply for putting Canelo in the platform he believed at the time that I was talking about him, at the platform he belonged. I'm sorry. In other words, his fanboys were making him out to be the super everything, and he was too young. And I'm like, no, he's not better than this. He's not better than that. Y'all got to wait. Y'all got to give this kid time. And so I was considered the Canelo hater of YouTube. And so now all these girls, all these high school girls, figuratively speaking, you know, the Dantes of the world, the Akakas of the world, the egotisticals of the world, all this group of cheerleaders look at their men. They look at their men and they're like, ugh, why can't you be better? But why are they saying that to their man? Because they look at Canelo. And in that Canelo, they see everything they want their man to be. They want their man to walk around as undisputed. They want their man to be the one to challenge the 175, throw a challenge at the cruiserweights. They want their man to be that, but their mans are just comfortable on the millions that they're making by not fighting legacy fights. And so there's a lot of people that are saying that perhaps this is or this isn't a lie. Even if it wasn't a lie, that's not what it's been. Even if it was a lie, that's not what's being at play here. What's being at play here, what's being talked about here is that the minute this retractors smelled that this was a possibility, they switched, they flipped their narrative. And I got to tell you something. Even if Eddie Reynoso, even if Canelo himself says is a lie, just wait. Just wait. It might be. It might be. But heck, I'm having fun right now just talking about the way these people have changed their narratives. The minute they smelled that their narrative was about to be debunked, boom, they come up with a new one. They come up with a new one, and guess what, guys? That should be more than enough evidence that what comes out of some of these people's mouths, half of it or more than half of it ain't even true. And you all should start valuing yourself a little more when it comes to this thing. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I probably think I'm most likely going to think that if this fight was to happen, I think it'll open the door of opportunity to Charlo. However, I think he will come up short. But I will say this: in the same way that Canelo losing to Mayweather wasn't much of a bad deal, I will say Charlo losing to Canelo is not going to be much of a bad deal either. For real. It's not. He might lose, but he going to make some payday money. And now he finds himself in a new division where he can explore other horizons. because I don't think Canelo's going to stay at 168 for much long. That body going to continue to mature. And I can see Canelo going over to the 175 and possibly staying there for the remainder of his career. Most of the arguments that are being used now, again, to discredit this Canelo possible clash with freaking Charlo, is more than evidence that these arguments are crap. And it should be more of an evidence that the minute they have a mission in mind, Canelo avoids black fighters. Not true. Let's go over that before we go on. By the way, guys, as you all come in, please hit the thumbs up, activate the notification bell if you do subscribe to me. And I'm also live streaming on Twitter at Raw Boxing TV. If you can, just go out there and just retweet the live stream that I have going on Twitter. If you're watching on Twitch, please subscribe and follow the account for more content to come on Twitch. Boxing Logic United. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for everything that for the support that you're giving me. Peace and pugilism, Raw Boxing. Always, man. Always, man. That's a hell of a hope. I hope. Peace and pugilism. That's a word a lot of people don't use that word no more, but that is the actual ID word for boxers. It ain't boxers. It's pugilist. So I can always appreciate when I see that word being used in reference to boxers. So I have heard the accusations that Canelo doesn't fight black fighters, but in fact, when I go back in history without just listening, without just taking anybody's word for it, because I don't want to just fully or blindly believe somebody, I have to do my own homework, right? Why do I do my homework? Because I'm also a content creator in the sport of boxing, and whatever comes out of my mouth has to be at least a 90% accuracy. It has to be. And so when I heard Canelo doesn't fight black fighters, I immediately rewind the HVS tapes or the VHS tapes out of my brain, in my brain. And I can remember a Canelo Alvarez, for example, fighting Floyd Mayweather Jr., the best black fighter in that division at the time. Then I can remember Canelo Alvarez fighting another black fighter named Austin Trout, who was the number one guy at that weight division at the time. But it doesn't end there, because I can also remember Canelo fighting a guy like Erislandy Lara, who was also the number one in that division at the time. But it just doesn't stop there, because I can also remember Canelo fighting somebody like Sugar Shea Mosley, who is also a black fighter. These guys, these fighters have not taken pigmentation pills, right? The ones that I've mentioned so far, they not doing a reversed Michael Jackson, right? So far, the fighters that I have talked about are true black fighters, right? I just want to make sure I'm not tripping here in my head. That's all I want to know. Because when I hear things like that, it immediately makes me think, why are we mixing race with sport? Because most of their content is held with a foundation of race. Without racism, they could barely produce very good content. But when they play the racist card, which they do in about 90% of their videos, and in that other 10, they're not super direct, but they're very subliminal about it, they can mount all of these illusional arguments that they have when it comes to a lot of fighters, not just Canelo. Oh, there you go, brother. Thank you. And so when I hear Canelo doesn't fight black fighters, I've already debunked that for you. When I hear Canelo duck Charlo and Demetrius Andrade, well, being number one in the division does not mean that you're mandated. And why do we know this? Because there's a difference between being number one and the mandatory. And these guys were not mandatory. They were not. Now, is Canelo a perfect fighter? No, but really no one is. Has all of his moves been great, acceptable moves by the sport of boxing and by the fans? No, but really, is there any boxer that gets that privilege? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But what's crazy to me is that Canelo gets less credit than fighters that do worse moves, that by fighters that make moves that are not even contributing to their legacy, but fighters that are very comfortable barking with angry faces, by fighters that are very comfortable making a few $1 million and getting their hands raised and keeping the same exact belt in the same exact weight division without looking up and saying, I've already beaten some guys here. I want that fish. I'm moving up. I'm taking him. But I do remind people there is one that done that and just so happened to be Canelo Alvarez. Oh, he fought the weakest champ. He was weak enough to keep the belts. He was weak enough to position himself to become a champion. He was weak enough to defend his belt until Canelo got a hold of him. But the question is not whether that was the weakest, the weakest, or the most, strongest champion of the division. The question is, has your men ever made that move? The question is, has any of your boys ever made those moves? Nope, but Canelo has. The question is, has any of your boys moved up to a weight division and in 11 months became undisputed in that division? And no, not undisputed like Kambosos that in one fight he captured everything. No. Undisputed in the sense that he fought, boom, took a belt, boom, took a belt, boom, took a belt. Have any of them done that? I believe the answer is no, they haven't. And so now you got to ask yourself, if you're not going to give Canelo credit, because according to you, the very moves he's made do not earn him enough credit in your mind, then put the moves your boys have made and tell me if you give him credit. Oh, yeah, you do. Why? Because it's not about boxing. It's not. It's about colors. And I hate that. It shouldn't be. Because boxing is just like everything in life. You got good white boxers, good black boxers, good Mexican boxers, good Filipino boxers, good Cuban boxers, good all kinds of boxers. Just like you have good black doctors, good white doctors, good whatever kind of doctor. Everything in life is a melting pot of ethnicities. And we all play a part in it. So there ain't no reason why we got to be playing all this racism or all these racial derived comments and content to make a simple fighter look bad. And I call it a simple fighter. I don't even know why I do that. Just to make the guy that's undisputed right now, the face of boxing right now, just to make him look bad. And so to make him look bad, you're willing to go as far as saying that the very guy you claim that he is ducking now has become a cherry pick the minute you smell that they're possibly going to fight. Interesting, huh? Interesting how we can use all this time that we've had to lie to our subscribers when it comes to Canelo, when it comes to Charlo. And the minute you might see your lie begin to crumble, you got another lie discrediting the very person you've been giving credit to just to continue to discredit Canelo Alvarez. That is very interesting. And this is why I tell people you need to value your time. You, as a subscriber, you need to value your time. If one day you find out that whatever I'm saying is not true, that whatever I'm saying isn't accurate, even if you like my production, I encourage you, for your own sake, to unsubscribe and never look at my content again. In the same way, I encourage you that if you go to other channels and you see that, and you listen, you pay close attention to their content, and you hear that their content is back to back to back because he got the complexion for the protection, back to back to back, founded in racism, founded in this, founded in that, and it's all fan talk, but nothing accurate. I encourage you to protect yourself at all times and simply get the heck out of there. Your time's too valuable. And so every minute you waste pumping trash into your brain is minutes you never get back, but the trash is already in your brain. And some of it stays, and some of it you spread. And so that's why you see these channels that the minute they smelled that their lie was going to fall and crumble, they came up immediately with another lie to protect the previous lie and continue to discredit Saul Canelo Alvarez. And now, and one of them even went as far as saying, Canelo Alvarez, not only did he pick the weakest cruiserweight champ, listen to this. We're talking about a fighter, 154 pounds. They fought the best at 154. They fought the best at 160. And not only the best, he fought the guy almost nobody wanted to fight in Triple G. They went up to 168, became undisputed. They went up to 175, took a belt. And now he doesn't get credit for wanting to go to cruiserweight because he's going up against Makabu or whatever his name is. And in their opinion, Makabu is the weakest champ, has no boxing, has no chin, meaning that by saying that Makabu has no chin, they are automatically giving credit to Canelo, and they are automatically assuming Canelo is going to knock this boy out. So they discredit Makabu, not to credit Canelo, to discredit and continue to discredit Canelo. Do you see how things work around here? You see how easily people can lie to you? Let me ask you something. Are you the type of subscribers that listens and doesn't do your own homework? Because if you are that type of subscriber, you're in danger. I encourage everybody to do their own homework. I encourage everybody, if I ever say something that's wrong, come back and let me know. I ain't gonna get mad because you found an information and the information possibly contradicts what I said. I'm not gonna go in a back and forward with you. I'm just giving you the freedom to come and say, hey, Ray, I think you were wrong on this one. This is what I found. Boom, that's it. I might read it. I may not even reply to you. I might reply to you, but at least you'll have the freedom to question me, and I'm not going to be removing no messages. So with that being said, guys, whether this fight is going to take place or not, whether it's being worked under the table, at least it's served as bait to show you guys that it doesn't matter what move Canelo makes. In fact, Canelo could come back tomorrow and say, you know what? Boo Boo Andre, 168, a chance to be undisputed. Boo Boo Andre. And I can tell you right now what the excuse is going to be in order to continue to discredit Canelo. It's a cherry pick because this is the way to beat Boo Boo. You bring him up to 168 and you don't even allow him to acclimate to the weight division. You fight him right off the bat, and you already acclimated to the division, and that's why you gonna beat Boo Boo Andre. And you already know that Canelo got the complexion for the protection in the judge's eyes. Man, it's all scripted. I've seen the movies too many times. It's like a YouTube video that you can go back and click and click and click, and it'll show you the exact same image with the exact same audio back to back to back. I've seen it too many times, guys. And the problem is this: people think that they are the voice of boxing because they got 50, 60, 80,000, 300, 5 million subscribers, or whatever the account is. No, you're not. Don't let the ego get to your head. Don't let it get to your head. It doesn't matter what Canelo Alvarez does. He's never going to get the credit that he deserves. All the moves he's making are great moves, but he's still not going to get the credit. And if he fights Makabu and takes his belt, that's a legacy move. That's a great move. You know why? Because he doesn't belong in the cruiserweight division. So for him to move up to the cruiserweight division and beat one of the champions, whether it's the toughest champion or the weakest champion, still a champion, still good enough to maintain a belt, still good enough to defend the belt in the weight division against guys that are actual true cruiserweight fighters. For this guy to step into the cruiserweight division and take on Makabu and take his belt, even if that fight happens, it's still a great move for a guy that doesn't belong in the cruiserweight division. If we look at the way these arguments are mounted out there, they're stupid. If we look at the way they talk about not just Canelo, guys, not just Canelo, but in the way that they talk about anybody that can potentially become a threat to the fighters they ride or die with, they got enough people to spread a lie and to mount a new narrative. And so when they smelled that this one might happen, the previous narrative was in danger, they came up with a new one to rescue it. And what was that? Canelo's cherry picking Charlo. And what was that? Charlo had a bad outing in the last fight, even though that in their scorecard, Canelo had a bad outing in his last fight until the knockout. So it really makes absolutely no sense. And my concern is not even what they say. My concern is that people are actually listening and believing this. And if you want to question why the YTBC is such a cesspool of arguments, debates, and back and forward, it's because of channels like this one. It's because of other channels simply acting like señoras, gathering together to gossip about what's going on in the town. I've extended the invitation plenty of times. They don't want to accept it. They don't. And that's fine too. They don't have to. Who am I? I'm nobody. But if this fight does come to fruition, guys, it's a hell of a move for both fighters. I will be extremely excited. This will be good for boxing. If Charlo and Canelo do fight, it's not a career suicide for Charlo. Losing to Canelo, the face of boxing, is not a career suicidal move. It's not. You lost to the guy. So what? Pick yourself back up. Make yourself the number third, number second. Work yourself way back up. At least you done it with a good, payday. Now for Canelo, high risks, low reward. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Ranger. How can you freaking say high risk, low reward? Can I ask anybody a question? And Go ahead and answer it on the comment section. What does Charlo have that the undisputed champion needs? I'll take a pause and allow you to answer in the comment section. Come on. What does Charlo has that the undisputed champion needs? Come on, drop it in the comment section. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. There's absolutely nothing that Charlo has that the undisputed champion needs or wants. So what does that mean? High risks, low rewards. Here's another question. What does Boo Boo Android has that the undisputed champion at 168 needs? Nothing. So what does that translate to? High risks. I said on the previous one, I said high risks, low rewards. I'm sorry for lying to you guys. Let's put it this way. High risks, zero rewards. That's it. What, money? Canelo can make money with whoever he fights. He's the face of boxing. He's the cash cow of boxing. If he wasn't the cash cow of boxing, if he wasn't the face of boxing, if he wasn't the current PPV king of boxing, Floyd Mayweather would not go to sleep, eat breakfast, lunch, go to gym, and talk about Canelo all day in every interview that he has a chance to. Narcissist people will leave him alone. I'm just being real here, guys, and I'm telling y'all that you listen to all these channels with their hundreds of thousands of subscribers talk about Canelo Alvarez, and if you have never watched boxing in your life, if you have never seen Canelo fight in your life, they could easily make you believe that Canelo is just a worthless, insignificant fighter that somebody just came and said, here's the undisputed status, and here's all the belts, and congratulations, and we're going to put all this money in you. If when you listen to them talk, that's the picture they paint about Canelo Alvarez. And so I just want you, before I go to the comments, I want to make sure that you guys from now on start listening to every single YouTube content creator that you guys listen to when it comes to the sport of boxing. And I don't want you to believe us. In fact, picture us as liars. And we are liars until you do your own homework and you confirm that what we're saying is true or false. And when you do that, you're going to see the 9 out of 10 videos that they upload is a prescripted video. They not spitting the facts at you. They not freestyling the facts at you. They sit, they write, they read, and they put an image. They don't have the capacity to come up with content with truth behind it. They have to snip and bits and pieces from here and there to make you believe something that really isn't true. And so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go to the comment section. And after I read the comments, I'm going to talk about a little bit of Ryan Garcia and Pitbull Cruz. Let's talk about this. Let me send a shout out to the peoples here. James Valdez, once again, Akaka TV just recently made a video saying Team Canelo debunked the rumor. Possibly. I haven't seen nothing. But you know what, Valdez? He was one of the ones that made a video immediately trying to discredit Canelo in case this fight actually did happen. His handler out of Thailand, Dante Cheeseburger Nation, same thing. Chad Pettis in the building. What's up, my man? I already said this one. Let's see who else is here. LA to Houston. Canelo smash. What's up, brother? Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. James Valdez, he's here. Charlo saying, we'll fight in Mexico. I'll take both of them and beat them. Man. Let me lower this music. I got to talk to y'all on this one. I can go in front of a camera, having a status, following, somewhat of a celebrity status to myself, being a fighter, constantly having that angry face like the world's against me. And I can talk all that smack, and talk about I fight all of them in the same night. But ultimately, man, it's all yippee yappy. It ain't translated to reality. It's all to create a hype. And that's fine. Create the hype. But when people start believing the hype, that's when I'm like, ooh, that ain't good. That is just not good. LA to Houston against waiting to hear that match is a solid deal. I'm waiting too. You know, people are saying it isn't, others saying it is. We'll see what happens. You never know. You never know. The Benavides after Charlo, that will take away all ammunition from the haters. It won't, LA. It won't, because it's too easy to lie to people nowadays. Listen, do you not think the offer was made to me to jump on the bandwagon in exchange for 20,000 subscribers? The offer was made to me. I could have had 20,000 subscribers immediately when I came back from my 6-year break, just to take and follow the script. Why do you think he uploads and the other one puts it in his storyline, his community, and the other one uploads and this one puts it in his community, and vice versa? When you listen to their videos, they're about 80% accurate, concurrent with each other. So no, if he ever beats Charlo and then Benavides back to back, it's not gonna take no ammunition. It's not gonna take no ammunition. Right now they're shooting 223s, 5.56s, 300 blackouts. And once they run out of ammunition, they're gonna look for them 22s. And once they run out of 22s, they're gonna look for them pellets. Because it's too easy to lie to people nowadays. And trust me, I could have taken the deal. I could have came up with some good strategies to produce some videos. And I could have sat here and wait for the instructions and just add my little bit of pieces to the instructions and produce all kinds of videos for you guys. So no, they'll never run out of ammunition. It's up to you to believe it or not. It's up to you to listen and do your own homework and then believe it or not. It's up to you whether you want to follow this or not. So no, man, I don't think so. I actually don't like this fight against Charlo, though. You may not like it, but people been saying that Canelo ducking this cat. And in my opinion, when you got undisputed status, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get a lot of good fighters wanting what you got. And if you don't fight them, it may not look that good for you. Looks like they're pushing Plant versus Charlo, PBC. I said that a month ago, and now I think it's come. I think one of them posted a picture of both of them on the Instagram. I don't remember which one it was. I really don't remember. What's up, H Money? Hey, you should just use your own name, man. It's not cool to do that. I mean, Smollett, whatever your name is. What's up, man? We're rewarding the behavior of the fighters that don't want to unify in hopes of a Canelo payday. I see why. I see that. But so this is why you don't like that fight, and I get it. But the Macaboo fight may not happen. If he schedules David Benavidez, I guarantee you, that's another one. Charlo is one that's been after him for the longest, so I see why it makes sense to go after Charlo instead of Benavidez, if in fact does happen, if in fact this fight was real. We just don't know. We just don't know. The haters can't keep us down. Never, man. Never. You kidding me? You kidding me? I've been getting so much hate lately. And I've been getting hate in YouTube since 2008. And I've been getting hate lately a lot from, quite frankly, people you hang out with. I think from you as well, from other live streams. I've been getting hate. I'm not gonna block nobody. I like the hate. Bring it on. Just bring it on. What would they push up plus plant Charlo to a different division? Charlo hasn't done not one thing. It's PBC is what's hot, man. I don't like a lot of these moves, but they're going to do it anyway. James Valdez, man. Later, you're talking in circle, and I ain't getting nowhere. All right, man. Have a good one. Time to feed Caleb Plant to losing. He's being maxed out. How far? Go to Eddie Reynoso's Instagram. They're not talking to no one. It's a lie. All right, it might be. It might be. If that's what's out there, then it is. Then it is. Then it is, my man. Let's see here. Crazy thing is, he looks like one himself. I don't know what you're talking about there, but you know. Let's see here. Ricardo, welcome to the building, my man. What up, Raw? If it happens, I believe Canelo stops Charlo. Since when is Charlo a cherry pick? Correct. That's what I'm saying, but that's what they're saying. Because by saying Charlo's a cherry pick, once Canelo fights, if they fight, and if Canelo wins, they're going to continue to say, we told you it was a cherry pick. It's all scripted, man. I see it coming from miles away. The GOAT in the building. What's up, man? Welcome. What does Charlo have that Canelo needs? His scalp. That's about it, huh? That's about it. El Coto in the building. What's up, my brother? Welcome. Let's see. I like Charlo versus Canelo after Benavidez. Both are good events. Yeah. But, people are saying it's a lie. And it might be. But like I tell people, even if it's a lie, you saw the way they reacted the minute they smelled that this was a potential fight. You saw how they smelled that their narrative might have been in danger. And so they came up with a new one immediately. So it's always good to look at these things, even these rumors, what kind of effects it has on some of these content creators. And so actually, guys, I'll probably not talk about Ryan Garcia or nothing like that. I'm probably gonna leave it right here. And if I have time tomorrow, we'll go and talk about that Ryan Garcia Pitbull Cruz situation. It's a lot more involved in that situation that needs to be talked about. So I'm sorry, it's a shorty. I'm extremely tired. You already see me starting to and I don't want to produce no trash for you guys. So on the meantime, thank you for all the support, Oh, let me see. This is a new comment before I go. Let me Manning Water, because getting the fights made is not as easy for them. Canelo is a big draw. He can afford to pay Plant 10 million for his belt. He can get anyone he wants in the ring. Half truths. Half truths. Yeah, half truths. So, but we can talk about that. I'll probably go live tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. So, in the meantime, guys, stay safe. God bless every single one of you guys. Raw Boxing TV. Till next time, we out.